Hey, welcome to HR Happy Hour. You are here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose.
Hey, Trish McFarlane. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
We made it. It's a long
I know.
week. It's a long day. Oh my God.
It has been such a long week, like a good week, but busy. When has July ever been this busy in our industry?
It usually isn't. It's usually the downtime. Today's been the Zoom day from absolute hell. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
I mean, good things, lots of demos. Great. I want to talk a little bit about, or we can talk a little bit about this really interesting update we got from our friends at Oracle just a few minutes ago.
Yes.
All day long on the phone on these Zoom things.
Yeah. Can I add, I had about, 30 minutes where I didn't have anything going on. And I had these two stools in my basement, like up at like a little sidebar area that I thought, you know what? I am going to spray paint those. Do you spray paint things?
Nothing I own personally, but other things. When I was 17, I spray painted, I loved my girlfriend on the bridge. That was the last
You
time
did not. Did you really?
I did not do that. That was a joke.
I thought I was going to be so impressed with you.
There's an old joke about like kids in high school. What would you like for Valentine's Day? And the girl replied to the boy, I want you to spray paint that I love you on the bridge, or you love me on the bridge. No, I have spray painted. It has been a while.
I think we should bring that back first and foremost. Someone needs to spray paint for me and make a mixtape. I would like a mixtape.
All right.
I don't have any way to play those, but anyway, no. So I think that there are certain things I can become addicted to, like my new pressure washer that we've talked about before, which I'm pressure washing everything. Spray paint, I can absolutely have an addiction to that. But anyway, just with 2 little cans of spray paint, I have these gorgeous like cranberry red stools now.
The best part of that's cool, and I think the best part of the spray paint is the little ball bearing inside that rattles around as you shake up the can. That's pretty cool.
I loved it. But anyway, so I did that, and then I quickly jumped in the pool. I did some swimming, some exercise. So it was almost time for the Oracle update call with Steve Miranda, and so I ran inside. I thought I've got to get a shower, and of course, then it's a video call. So like here I am, wet hair. You know what, though? Here's the funny thing. So I've been on camera with foil in my hair. I've been on camera with wet hair. I sort of feel like it's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind it so much. Like this, I don't mind. Obviously, we're doing these and lots of people watch this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a weird thing, though, because this feels like we're just talking. And sometimes those big Zoom calls with like 37 people,
you know what,
and many of them I don't know, I'm less comfortable with.
See, I'm okay with it because I think the one good thing for me that's coming out of the pandemic and all of these, Zoom type calls of whatever platform they're on is that I'm just way more comfortable with me. If I have makeup on and I'm fixed up, that's fine. If I'm wearing an old ratty t-shirt, that's okay too. It's like today, the hair is just going a little crazy. I have to tell you, can I give a shout out to my friend Sarah Morgan, because she hooked me up on how to like make the most of your naturally curly hair. So Buzz on HR, she's so good.
Real quick though, we wanted to talk a little bit about the Oracle call with our friends.
Yes, let's talk about that. One of the things that struck me was, he was talking about how many customers they have, new customers going live. And that was a little surprising. I hadn't really thought about it being kind of almost an uptick in certain industries, he said. So when I asked him, have you noticed anything materially different about the go lives when people who are doing them are maybe predominantly working at home, or a good chunk of their team might be at home? And he mentioned that the 2 areas that seem to be focused on are change management more than before and training. And I wondered what you thought about that, because, though for years we've said that's where people should focus. Do you think this is now what's going to cause that to happen?
Yeah, to me, I think that's a really interesting observation. And it's probably because in light of the work from home and the dispersed workforces, all of a sudden, like everybody's realizing that an increase in communication across the board is absolutely essential.
Oh, that's true.
And so I think it falls into that category a little bit. Like everybody knows when you do the playbook of software implementation that you've got to have good change management, you've got to have good communication, and you've got to make sure training materials and no one does a good job at it. Almost never. But in this circumstance, I think people really said, well, we've really got to focus on it because we can't bring everybody in a conference room easily, right? We can't walk down the hall and sit by someone's desk all day long and help them navigate through a new process and help them learn it and help them understand it, that we have to figure out ways to be more effective at managing people through this change and helping them adjust to it. So yeah, it's a good byproduct, I suppose, of all the work from home stuff. And and it's good to know. And I think the other thing he said that was Steve said from Oracle, it was really interesting, is that overall at a macro level, and it's great that these cloud companies really can get good perspective, right? Because they can analyze all the throughput, all the transaction, all the access across their thousands of customers, and that the levels and the transactions and the throughput really hasn't gone down materially from this time last year. Right. It's still, people are out there, they're still processing, they're still working, they're still transacting. And some areas of the system, like learning in particular, people are accessing much, much more. And we've heard that from Oracle. And we've heard that from a couple of other providers in the last couple of weeks about the huge increase in uptake of learning content. So anyway, pretty interesting. Yeah.
I think too, when you're talking with a company like Oracle, where it's ERP, it's your finance system, it's everything, right? It's your supply chain. You talked about procurement. He talked about a lot of things, and so it really gives a nice holistic picture of what is going on in the business world and how it all fits together. So I thought that I was really appreciative of that. That view that he was sharing with everyone. I thought that was good. So yeah, for anybody listening, definitely stay tuned in the next few days. I'm sure you'll see.
There were a couple of things he said that I wanted to share on this call, but we can't. But hopefully we will be able to soon, because there's a couple of really, really incredible stories.
Can I tell you, I think that part of being an analyst, and that same itch got scratched when I worked in HR too. I love kind of knowing some secrets that are not out yet. Like I don't have to tell them. I just feel happy to know them. So yeah.
But speaking of that, I don't want to rant. Maybe I won't bother.
Oh, are you going to rant today? Come on.
You're an analyst. I'm in that space, and in the media influencer space, and people maybe don't care. This is too like insider, but like we get all these pitches, all this information, press releases, and things. It's great. But every so often you get this, hey, I'll share this secret with you, but it's under embargo. You have to agree not to talk about it. I hate it. It's so stupid. We're not past. Yeah. And because the press releases, shout out to my friend Lance Hahn, who brought this up today in a text chain. The press release is something like, the fourth largest bank in Baton Rouge is gone live on our time and attendance system. Like that's the piece of information that I'll give it to you if you're willing not to talk about it for 2 weeks. Here's the answer. I'm never talking about that. In fact, I've talked about it too much on this
You're
show.
talking about it right now.
It's awful. Stop with the embargo stuff. I don't want it anymore. It's awful.
I like it. I like feeling like I'm getting.
Oh, it's just it's the word I don't like. Embargoed information should be like really critically important information. Like it shouldn't be something like that.
If I could cover up your face right now, wherever it right there. Right there, cover your face. Hey everyone, if you have embargoed information or secrets, or
don't send it to me.
If you know what I do miss about secrets, I miss working actually in human resources, dealing with employee relations, so that I had people coming into my office and like spilling all the tea. Like I love.
That's different. That's different.
Oh,
that's
I love it.
That's more exciting than the fourth largest bank in Baton Rouge.
If you don't like your HR lady, if you don't like Karen, just go ahead and call me. I'm ready.
I have something for you I want to ask. So it's a Friday. Let's have some fun. We're talking a lot about work there. I want a non-work thing. I'm going to a question for you, like we do on the Happy Hour show. You ready, Trish?
Okay.
Do you know who is the right article? Who is the oldest known living land animal in the world as of right now? I'll give you a hint. It's not a human being. The oldest living land animal in the world right now.
I feel like it would be a tortoise.
You got it. That is correct. The oldest living animal in the world is a giant tortoise named Jonathan.
Is he like 140?
Yeah, that's the second part of the question. What do you think?
140.
And it is an estimated age, because we've asked Jonathan a couple times. He's not really too forthcoming with the birth date. Take a guess. You said 140?
140.
According to a report in a very reputable website I'm reading, higher, actually quite a bit higher, Trish. They think Jonathan is 188 years old.
Really?
Isn't that incredible? I was blown away when I saw that headline today.
That's amazing. The second guess I would have had was maybe like a whale.
But you got the tortoise. I'm really impressed. I had no idea
I just knew that did you know that you can actually call a tortoise and interact?
What would you call him or her?
Well, apparently they call that one Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Come on, Steve. No. So I'll tell you a quick story. One of the best zoos that I've been to actually is in Memphis. So if anyone's in Memphis, near Memphis, wants to go to a cool zoo, go to Memphis. They have things like giraffe feeding where you can actually participate. And I mean, I've never been, giraffes are my favorite animal. Love them. And the giraffes and birds, I love birds too. But giraffes, they are huge. Even the baby giraffes would come right up to you, and you're on a platform where you're like, they can come at eye level with you. Their heads are so big, like up close. But anyway, they have a whole section where the tortoises are, and you can get down really low and really close to them. And so I call my fish all the time, and they come over to me. So I thought, I'm going to call a tortoise. Sure enough, Carly and I were calling tortoises, and they came right over to us. And they would stick their head right out of the shell.
Take a look around, see what's up.
They were amazing. They were huge, though.
Yeah.
Really,
they're
really
giant.
Big. So again, like, I think it's one thing in St. Louis, we have a lovely zoo, but you can't get that close to them.
I'm always a little skeptical of inner city zoos, Trish, because I wonder if like they were really carefully curated experiences, or at some point in the past, someone just put up a giant fence around a big perimeter. And just whatever happened to be inside, captured at that time, that was the zoo.
Can I tell you, I don't even like zoos because I feel really bad. I feel bad about any animal in captivity, especially things that need to wander like bears and lions, tigers, things that would normally roam 50 miles a day are in. So I do kind of dislike that.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it too much, but I generally am not a zoo aficionado. But
well, if you ever get a chance, go to the Memphis Zoo. It was really nice, and you can actually interact with the animals, which is fun. So
no, that's great. I
maybe you should. Does Charlotte have a zoo?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think you should go this weekend.
I don't know if it would be open. Things in North Carolina are not open as much as in other places.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I honestly haven't
open, but it's with lots of restrictions.
To it. It's also like super hot. Obviously, it's summer, which is great. I'm not complaining about the heat. I don't think the zoo experience is the best at like on a 104-degree day, honestly.
No, don't like. I understand that your son is in college, but clearly
the animals are a little sluggish.
You're not remembering back about 15 years, probably when he was like 4. That's exactly when you take your kids to the zoo. You take them when they're 4, 5, or 6. And it's 100 degrees. And then you have to have a grandparent usually in tow, at least one of them. And then somebody has to be crying. Someone has to like take their clothes off or something. Someone spills ice cream down them. This is just how the zoo goes. It's so fun.
Awful. But yeah, I'll get right on that. I had a whole grandparent related rant. I'm going to save that for next week because it's way too long.
Save the grandparent rant. All right. Well, listen, have a great weekend. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. And send us some messages. Tell us what you're up to this weekend. And we will catch you on Monday.